A shocking interview has sent shockwaves through Dalton, Illinois, as Jason House, the man who just defeated Mayor Tiffany Henyard in the Democratic primary, sat down with journalist Regina Waller to reveal startling secrets and accusations about the mayor's leadership. What began as a small suburban village just south of Chicago has now erupted into political chaos, with allegations of corruption, financial mismanagement, and abuse of power coming to light. These revelations have sparked intense debates and raised serious questions about the future of Dalton. The explosive moments from House's interview have left the community questioning everything about Henyard's time in office. From her questionable spending habits to deep-rooted corruption allegedly running through her administration, the interview exposed details many residents had suspected but never fully understood. House, positioning himself as the candidate for change, detailed Henyard's extravagant spending, including lavish trips, questionable contracts, and the alleged misuse of taxpayer funds for personal gain. He also painted a troubling picture of a culture of intimidation in Dalton, where dissent was silenced and those who opposed Henyard were allegedly targeted. The interview, which has garnered intense attention, portrays Henyard as a leader who misused power and resources while pushing the town into deeper financial instability. The revelations have ignited heated discussions. Can Dalton recover from years of alleged mismanagement, or will Henyard's tenure leave an irreparable stain on the community? While Henyard's supporters argue that she has been unfairly targeted and that her leadership has been misrepresented, her critics are growing louder, demanding accountability and real change. The results of the Democratic primary sent a clear message that many Dalton residents are fed up with the status quo. House's victory is widely seen as a mandate for a new direction in leadership. House's win was more than just a political triumph, it symbolized a community rejecting corruption and demanding transparency. However, the battle is far from over. Henyard still holds power until the end of her term, and the transition of leadership will be anything but smooth. With Dalton in deep financial trouble, House faces the enormous challenge of fulfilling his promises of transparency and fiscal responsibility while navigating a politically charged landscape. The political drama intensified when House, in his interview with Waller, revealed shocking details about Dalton's financial chaos. He confirmed long-held suspicions that millions of dollars had been recklessly spent with little to no accountability, exacerbating the town's already dire financial situation. House pointed to lavish expenses, undisclosed payments, and financial records that, according to him, painted a picture of complete mismanagement. Beyond financial issues, House also shed light on a troubling culture of fear within Dalton's government. He described how employees and officials who questioned Henyard's decisions were allegedly pushed out, intimidated, or silenced. He claimed that key figures were forced to approve questionable financial transactions or risk losing their jobs, echoing statements made by past whistleblowers. One of the most shocking revelations from the interview was House's suggestion that legal consequences could be looming for Henyard. While he did not provide specific details, he hinted that investigators were already looking into some of the most troubling financial irregularities in Dalton's government. This revelation immediately fueled speculation among residents and political observers, with many wondering whether Henyard could soon face serious legal repercussions. As expected, the fallout from the interview was swift. Social media erupted with debates, discussions, and demands for accountability. Dalton residents took to online forums, local meetings, and public platforms to voice their concerns, questioning the alleged disappearance of funds, intimidation tactics, and the potential for criminal investigations. Some community leaders even called for immediate audits and full-scale investigations into the village's finances. In response to the growing criticism, Henyard's team issued a statement dismissing House's claims as politically motivated. They accused him of exaggerating the situation to gain public support and insisted that Henyard's administration had always acted within legal bounds. Despite these denials, the mounting pressure on Henyard is undeniable, and scrutiny of her leadership has reached an all-time high. As Dalton stands at a crossroads, the stakes have never been higher. Will Jason House be able to clean up the alleged mess left by Henyard's administration and bring about the transparency and accountability he promised, or will he find himself battling the same struggles that plagued his predecessor, with Henyard's shadow still looming over Dalton's government and the possibility of legal repercussions hanging in the air? The town's political landscape is more uncertain than ever. One thing is certain: Dalton's future is now in question, and the aftermath of House's interview will shape its political narrative for years to come. As House prepares to take the reins, Dalton remains a divided community, one faction clinging to the status quo and another desperate for reform. The coming months will be critical as House faces the immense challenge of restoring trust and stability to a town shaken by controversy. The political tensions are palpable, and the outcome of House's efforts could redefine Dalton's future for generations. The controversy surrounding Dalton's leadership has reached a boiling point. Mayor Tiffany Henyard's attempts to portray herself as a victim of a smear campaign, blaming jealous politicians and outside forces, have done little to quell the growing anger in the community. While she defends herself against accusations, residents remain unconvinced, pointing out that the FBI's investigation into Dalton's finances is a proven fact, not a rumor. Many are frustrated by the misuse of village funds on extravagant trips, expensive contracts, and lavish spending, all while essential services have deteriorated. This stark contrast between the administration's spending habits and the community's needs has left many feeling betrayed. As the situation escalates, it's becoming increasingly clear that Henyard's leadership is under intense scrutiny. Despite her defense, the pressure for accountability only grows. Her representatives may try to downplay the allegations, but the mounting frustration among residents is palpable. As Henyard's time in office nears its end, the question remains whether she will face the consequences of her actions. Just as this scandal threatens to consume Henyard's legacy, Jason House's victory in the Democratic primary and the revelations from his interview present new challenges for Dalton's future. The village is now at a crucial turning point. With House preparing to take over, the big question is whether Dalton can recover from the damage done. Financial mismanagement and allegations of abuse of power have shattered public trust, leaving residents wondering what the future holds. House, who built his campaign on promises of transparency and financial responsibility, now faces the monumental task of restoring faith in the local government. With the village's finances in disarray, he will have to make tough decisions to get Dalton back on track. However, the road ahead won't be easy. Cleaning up the financial mess left behind will be a complicated and lengthy process. Beyond addressing the budget crisis, House must rebuild public trust, as many residents feel betrayed by Henyard's administration. Words alone won't be enough. House will need to demonstrate that his leadership will avoid the pitfalls that doomed Henyard's time in office. Even though Henyard lost the primary, she still holds significant influence and could attempt to undermine House before her term ends. With an FBI investigation looming, the question of whether Henyard will face legal consequences for her actions adds even more uncertainty to an already chaotic political landscape. One thing is certain: change is coming to Dalton, but the real challenge is whether House can turn things around. Dalton's future depends on whether House can deliver on his promises of transparency and reform. The stakes have never been higher as the town stands at a critical crossroads. House's claims of financial mismanagement, intimidation tactics, and a culture of corruption within Henyard's administration have sparked outrage among residents, who are demanding answers. The pressure on House to restore trust, fix the financial issues, and navigate the challenges posed by entrenched figures in the system is immense. Will House succeed in bringing the change that Dalton desperately needs, or will the same old problems continue to plague the village? Only time will tell. Stay informed, stay engaged, and don't let these critical issues go unnoticed. The future of Dalton is in the balance, and the decisions made in the coming months will have a lasting impact.